Spicy's in the house, my people, and I hope you subscribe to participate in the 5,000 subscriber goal for the next giveaway, where I will give out 8 Amazon gift cards of $25 each. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Also let me know in the comments if you subscribe so I can show you some love. Congratulations Chicey for the comment of the day. The beach got what she deserved, right in the kisser. While back, maybe a decade ago, I was heading home, but saw a train being delayed for extra 25 minutes. So I decided to stop by some delicious McD's, mainly to avoid the task of cooking at home. I queue for a moment to left side register and place my order for a standard meal. No extras and stuff. Guy next to me orders like 20 burgers and bucket full of nuggets and whatnot, but no drinks as takeaway. I get my meal in like 30 seconds and sit down to the closest table. The guy that was ordering next to me comes and asks if he could sit down at my table while waiting for his takeaway, for which I just nod and move my tray to the side a bit, leaving space for him to put his helmet and gloves and a towel. It is a 4-seat table anyways, so there's plenty of space. He was wearing this baseball uniform, red pants and yellow-red striped top. It was quite exotic overall, as the baseball is not something that is that common sport around here, not in US. I don't think much of it, only that he must be a coach for some kids team and just keep munching away my meal, while Mr. Baseball focuses on his phone. After a minute, a WB, a whiny beach, appears in all her pink clothes and tells to my new friend about something being wrong at her order. Mr. Baseball just glances a bit upwards, not even close to eye level, and states, "Registers are over there, go there to complain. I don't work here." The whiny beach just stares at Mr. Baseball a bit and then proceeds to dump 2 sundaes on his lap, asking with increasing volume, "Well, do you work here now?" and proceeds to slap his phone on the floor and start to stomp on it while cursing him out. Mr. Baseball gets up and pushes her off from his phone, and she takes a few steps back. He picks up the phone and sits back down in disbelief with the mess in his lap. After like a good 10 seconds, she theoretically falls on the ground, shouting that employee pushed him down and banged her head on the trash bin. Luckily, the phone was okay with no damage. It was a Nokia phone more than 10 years ago. Then I point out for her, there is nothing where you could hit your head in range. Besides, you attacked him, a fellow customer. He does not work here, obviously. Just look at what he has with him. She stops whining for 2 seconds and crawls towards the dumpster and then increases the volume of her whining. The commotion attracts a manager and one of the cashiers to see what's going on. The whiny beach volumes just increases and now her chest hurts too. She then realizes that she was pushed from her chest and now her accusations escalates a bit. She claims that she was sexually abused and raped in daylight in middle of a McD's floor. As a stroke of luck and destined by karma, a pair of policemen arrives. Maybe they were patrolling the train station and someone just pulled them in. Or maybe they were also grabbing a snack or a coffee or a drink. The manager gets them to help to sort out the situation, and the accompanying cashier helps Mr. Baseball to clean his uniform up, using my napkins, I might add. So I was left with only one napkin that I had wrapped around my burger. One cop tries to calm the whiny beach down, and she screams that her ankle is broken and pelvis shattered and she was raped. The policeman just says to her that she really should not be rolling on the disgusting McDonald's floor at the train station around rush hour. That shuts her up and she gets up from the floor. Suddenly, ankle and pelvis are healed miraculously. Probably she is related to a top Italian soccer player, but she still feels that she was sexually abused by a McDonald's worker and demands his job for pushing her over. She still does not get it. Mr. Baseball does not work there, and he did not push her over obviously. The manager gets back with the other cop in a minute, and the cop states that security footage shows clearly that the whiny beach attacking Mr. Baseball and attempting to destroy his property, which he was entitled to defend, especially as that did not cause any harm for her. The whiny beach starts to scream, but the cop calmly interrupts her by stating that there was 10 seconds between the push and her falling over, while she clearly had not lost balance due to the push and that she was clearly faking the entire episode. The whiny bitch slaps the cop and screams something non-audible that I can't understand. The other cop instantly twists her arm behind her back and cuffs her. She keeps just whining and whining and whining and fighting the cops, trying to get free. Most of the people in the restaurant are leaving, but hey, it is a dinner and a show, so I'm not going yet, but finish my fries instead. The cop says that she is being arrested and asks if Mr. Baseball wants to make a report out of it. He just says that his phone is okay and the clothes needs wash anyways, so he just wants to leave. The cops are okay with that, and so is the manager. Justice is served as the whiny bitch got arrested. Did she get what she ordered? Absolutely, that is great. Yes. But let's finish the story about her dessert. At this point, Mr. Baseball gets called to the register. His order is ready. He gets 3 bags of food and starts to leave. He walks back to my table and puts on his gloves. Not a field glove, but kind of ones keeping your hands warm, maybe batter gloves, and helmet, and stuffs the towel under his belt. As he turns to leave, she kicks him into his shin or foot and spits towards his face. I heard this plastic pop, so he must have worn some sort of guards. For a split second, I think she got away from it, but Mr. Baseball falls down towards her. Reed headbutt her with all his strength. Even carpet crumbled a bit, wearing his helmet. Pow! Right in the kisser. Even as 2 cops are holding her, she falls down and is spitting out her teeth on the floor and a puddle of blood. He just says, with totally different, kinda with this screwhead beach tone, "Oh damn, my leg! My leg! I nearly fell because you kicked me, stupid! Oh, I hope you are alright. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you are alright." The cops just tell Mr. Baseball to leave, which he does. One cop radios some codes and starts to pick her up, while the slap cop is picking some loose teeth into a discarded Big Mac box with some cheese and lettuce remains in it. There are at least 5 items that the cop picks up from the floor, maybe more, but those could be onion pieces or that coarse street salt that they use at winter time. After the cops get the whiny bitch up, she spits at the cop carrying her teeth, blaming them for everything. To which the cop just says, "Alright then, so be it," and drops the box on the floor while maintaining an eye contact with her. She looks like she will start her shouting again. So the cops drag her outside while twisting her arms further, making her bend, forcing her face downwards and away from them. Manager just looks at me like this will not be the first time something like this happens, and asks if everything is okay with me offering a dessert for my troubles. I just thank him for the show and leave, as it is like 2 minutes for my train, while expressing my sympathy for the McDo workers. Outside, I see few more equally pink whiny beach friends harassing the policemen, whom get threatened to be arrested too if they enter the restaurant, as they will go there just to be belligerent and to make a scene. The show was over and my train arrives. I did not even have time for after dinner smoke, but that entire episode was worth of watching. You could say that her argument was toothless. I really wish everyone just stand up and starts clapping afterward. But honestly, it is always great to watch idiots try to hit police officers. Because sure, just slap the officer of the law for not immediately taking you at your word and assuming some random fellow is a murdering child rapist or whatever. This won't end badly for you. Not like that's a felony or anything. I honestly wonder if this is a real story. But hey, if you're having fun on my channel and you want to get more of my IDontWorkHereLady videos or any other type of videos I make, please consider subscribing to the channel. That will be one of the great ways in which you can support what I do here. This channel is a very important project for me, so if you can help me by liking the video, by commenting, and even by subscribing, this will help a lot and it will mean the world to me. But hey, I'm just offering it, you do you, and otherwise, let's get to the next story. Just fire me, it will shut her up. I was shopping around for a new iPhone, and it was time for an upgrade from the iPhone 4 I had. The 5s was released the month previous, and I wanted one. and figured I would never afford one. Well, Target just so happened to have it for $99. I could afford that, and they had it in my carrier too. Even better. So I was walking from the front of the store to their electronic department, and as I was passing by their DVD section, this woman stops me and asks if I work there. Her stupidity made me momentarily not say anything. I replied, no. She then proceeds to ask me where a certain movie was. I told her I had no clue, I did not work there. She huffed and said loudly, don't lie to me, I know you work here. I looked at her like she was an idiot and said, no, I do not work here. She then literally shrieked, I want to talk to your manager right now. Some girl dressed in the black and red uniform showed up and asked if she could help. The woman immediately said I was a worthless employee and she wanted to speak to a manager. The girl looked at me. I gave her a look like I got no clue what is wrong with the woman. The girl said, okay, wait right here. I will get you a manager. The woman starts ranting about how lazy I am and how incompetent the employees are in the store. When I told her she was crazy, she told me she was going to make sure that the manager knew I was insulting and rude too. At this point, I started amusing myself by taunting her, calling her names and insinuating she would be best in a padded room. She looked like she was going to stroke out by the time the manager finally showed up. The manager said hello, and before he could ask what the problem was, the woman opened up the floodgates, ranting about how horrible of an employee I was, and how terrible I treated her, and how I refused to assist her, and that I was not only rude but insulting her intelligence, that I told her I did not work here. The manager looked at me and he said, ma'am, this gentleman does not work here and is not an employee. The woman then began hollering at the manager and demanded to speak to the store manager. At this point, the manager stepped over to me and asked what was going on because I was giggling the whole time she was hollering at him. I told him the course of events and he goes, okay, she wanna speak to the store manager. I was like, okay, then fine by me. He goes over his walkie-talkie and asks him to call him. A minute later, the manager excuses himself, and after a few moments, the store manager walks up and he looks at me and asks me what is going on. The woman tried to butt in, but the manager said, ma'am, I asked him first. I will get your side in a moment. I tell him, and he goes, okay. While I talk with her, can you please come over here to the counter, which is about 20 feet away. I walk over to it, and he walks to the woman, talks to her, and he then walks back to me, and he goes, okay, well, she seems to be completely insane and believes you work here. I said, I just came here to buy a cell phone. If it helps tell her I am fired, it will shut her up. He smiled and said, okay, a little different, but I think I can manage that. He had me walk over with him back to the woman and said, ma'am, I am sorry about this issue you are having, and I want you to know I will handle this situation. She blatantly says I want him fired right now. He goes, that is my intentions. Ma'am, he turned to me and said I was not a good fit for the company and that I am going to have to let you go. The woman gives this big eating grin and said out loud as she started walking off, who's crazy now, huh? The first manager watched as the woman walked off, turned to me and said, I am sorry about that, sir. Are you okay? I told him I was fine, but that woman needs some medications bad. Soon enough, I was getting my phone, and while dealing with the contract paperwork and buyback program, the manager came up to me and apologized for the inconvenience. I told him it was no problem. I was not hurt, and though it was rather amusing. We chatted for a little bit, and he asked me what phone I was getting, and he showed me he had the same one. He gave me some tips on how to do different things, and he showed me the case he had and an accessory pack they had. The paperwork came through, and the manager took over the contract work for the kid who I talked to originally, and the total for the phone case and accessory kit came to about 60 bucks. That was including the buyback total removed. He said, now how about you being let go from the company? He overrolled the prices and zeroed it out. I told him it was not necessary. He told me it was okay and I could just say it was my severance package. He helped me set up the phone and transfer my stuff off the old phone before I left. Man, as awesome as that is, I am frustrated that she will always think that she was right. And of course, I am being generous by implying she is capable of thinking about anything. But both managers were really cool, especially the store manager. I don't work here, sir. I have wondered if this will happen to me ever since I started reading this subreddit. Well, that day was 2 days ago. I was shopping for jeans in Macy's and had 4-6 pairs drop over my right arm as I went from area to area looking for anywhere that had jeans on the table. For those who may not know, Macy's houses multiple brands that are separated into their own areas, versus an outdoor outlet mall where each brand has their own individual storefront. When I started riffling through a new pile, I noticed someone in front of me and in the edge of my peripheral vision was trying to get my attention. A middle-aged man held up a shirt or vest, I don't remember, and asked me where he could find additional sizes. I opened my mouth to respond, but he quickly realized and said, "Oh, you don't work here, do you?" I replied in the negative, and he laughed, saying that I looked like I knew what I was doing, so he thought I was a Macy's employee. I was in a black sweater with thin white stripes, dark blue jeans, no lanyard, no name tag, but it still happens. Fortunately, there was no anger or yelling, just a small mistake. Side note, I tend to shop and walk very purposely because I don't like spending any more time that I have to on such things. I guess that might make me seem like a retail employee. On the other hand, my default expression is basically a resting beach face, so I would have imagined I look like less approachable, but whatever. Wow, you met a reasonable person. I hear meeting those are good luck. Before you go away or enjoy my playlist of IDontWorkHereLady videos, remember to subscribe to have a chance in winning one of the 8 Amazon gift cards I would give when we reach the 5,000 subscribers mark. Thank you for your support, and hopefully you can help me create better videos with your likes and comments. Bye bye!